Live on Tuesday night. Hello, everybody, and welcome to In Bed with Comics. I'm your host and fellow comedian, Kristen Tinsley. And
Yay.
keeping with tradition, tonight I have with me, Once Upon a Time, a comic that's performed and been on Sirius XM radio. And he was also on a comedy special called And How Does That Make You Feel? They also want you to know that he is a huge Christopher Cross fan. Everybody, please welcome comedian and producer, Mr. Dave Lester.
Hey,
How are you?
hey, I got my manager with me. I'm
Oh,
good.
look at it. He is too. Look at the way he looks at you. He's like, wow.
Hey,
Are we on TV, Dad? Yes, we are. 10
yeah. Oh, he's 10 months.
months. Wow. Aw. He's
Yes,
adorable.
yes, ma'am. So we gave mom the evening off, so we're hanging out.
That's nice of you.
It's all
That's
right. Not
rare.
bad.
You're like a rare gem.
They're out there.
You're out there.
But
Yeah. You're
you know
out
what I
there.
think? I think the wives of good men or the women of good men, they don't blow it up. They don't want you to know.
No, absolutely not. They definitely don't. And single women like me, like we sit there and we watch like ID Discovery, like all those murder shows and everything like that, where like the women will marry like really wealthy men and they buy them houses and cars and diamonds and take care of them profusely. And then they end up killing them because they're sleeping with the mechanic for some money that they need to pay back. And I'm like, God damn, like, what are you gotta kill a good man? What are you, that's why there's no good men left. They're all dead.
I
They're,
mean, you can. I mean, if he's a decent person, he can develop into a good man. But he has to kind of do that. I don't. I,
yeah,
I, I
that's very true. And sometimes we give chances to guys that, don't necessarily, you know, where they have to do it, where I feel like as if a lot of men are just kind of like, well, I want you to tell me what you want and what you want me to do. And it's like, well, you should kind of already know the answer to that.
yeah,
So,
men are supposed to be building men. That women are not supposed to be building men. That's just
absolutely. I agree.
process.
I agree
And
100%.
as a man that grew up under his mom, there was a shite load of stuff that I just didn't know. You
Yeah.
know, luckily, between the internet and my friends' dads, I pieced it together.
Yeah,
And
you
it
got it
took me a little
together.
while. I wasn't a good husband, that's for sure. I got married in my 20s and wasn't a good husband. But I'm on some late bloomer shit. It's going well. I'm giving breaks on a Tuesday night. We winning.
Yeah. How long have you been married now?
I'm not married. We've been together almost 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I'm guessing that you didn't marry a comic.
No, no, no. It's unlikely that I would do. I was doing quite well with women before I was a comedian, and I just didn't see mixing. I didn't see mixing the same drinks. I wanted somebody not that.
Does your wife come to your shows a lot? Was that like a prerequisite to get married?
I'm not married.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, your girlfriend.
My lady. I met my lady at two comedy shows. I met her twice at two comedy shows. Bro, what are you trying to do? You want to go in your area? What do you want to do? Yeah, we met at two different shows. We met at a poorly attended show about 5 years back. No, maybe more than that. Maybe 6 years back. And I approached her after the show, and she gave me her number, but didn't really. She didn't follow up. I think
Right.
she was still dealing with somebody. And then we met another. Then we met another 3.5 years ago, at another comedy show where I was killing. And I approached her again, not knowing it was even her. And she was like, "We've met before." And I was
Wow.
like, "What came of it?" She's like, "Well, I never called you." I said, "Well, then we didn't. Then we nothing. We didn't go out. You can't hold me. You can't hold that against me." But
Right.
when at that time it was just better timing for both of us. So it kind of
Yeah,
stuck.
timing is everything. Time,
It
especially in
really is.
comedy.
Timing is like 85%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when people are ready, they're ready. You know,
Right.
you hear all the time about these people who've been in relationships with a guy for 7 years. He didn't marry her. Then he met a mother. Then he met a broad. You know, they were married in 9 months
Right.
because he was ready when he was ready, but there was clearly something holding him back. So,
Yeah, I come across a lot of things like that, and that definitely relates to, comedy also. So, how did you get into stand-up comedy?
um, that's funny. I mentioned earlier that I got raised by a lot of males who like my friends' dads, my friends' my family. A good friend of mine, I went to high school with Chris Smith. Uh, we would go back to his dad's house after school. His
Yeah.
dad worked nights, so the afternoons were his mornings before work. So
Yeah.
we would be coming in from school. He would be waking up to go to work, and we would like kick it, and he would play jazz music for us. He would play. He would he would record HBO specials of
Yeah.
the older ones, and he had a ton of comedy albums and an amazing sound system. So he just started playing them for us.
Yeah.
And Chris wasn't really that into the comedy. He was more wanted to be a hip hop artist at the time. But I was all about, when I first heard, you know, Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby on wax, I was like, what? What? So I started going and buying tapes, buying when people were buying hip hop, I was buying comedy.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching. Then Def Jam, like 2 or 3 years later, Def Jam just exploded like onto TV. So now now I was watching it every week. I didn't have to go looking. I didn't have to go scurrying for it. It was there every week. And then that's when the black comedy explosion I call it the golden age of black comedy kind of happened in the
Yeah, I think
90s.
Def Comedy Jam definitely put
Def
that on
Comedy
the
Jam,
map.
BET, and all of that. So that was it for me. I started doing I dabbled with some with some talent shows
Hmm.
and would do all right with those. And then I stopped. There wasn't really, I wasn't old enough to know a scene at the time. Like these
Right.
young comics now, they start off at like 12. But
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of 15 and 16-year-olds out there on the scene.
right,
And, I kind of feel
they
like,
know where to go. There's
right,
also a
like,
place for them to go. When
yeah,
we were coming up, you went to the club to do
right.
stand up. There was no, you if you got on, I went to I remember playing the old Boston. I remember bombing at the old Boston Comedy Club 2 times for the host there, talent.
Right.
And then the third time I went there to get on, I got back on and I fucking did good. Back then I would tell you that I killed, but I probably just did good. I did good, and Dave Chappelle was there, and the host wasn't there. So Dave actually said some things to me after the show, encouraging me and stuff. And this is
Yeah.
before this is before Chappelle's show and all that. So he was kind of like after Robin Hood, Men in Tights type shit. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it was cool.
How long have you been doing how long have you been doing comedy? I mean, that must be a long time.
Yeah, I started over 20 years ago, but I haven't been doing comedy for 20 something years. I took time off. There was false starts. There was time taken off. So if you were to equivocate my time in comedy for a normal working stand-up, I would say I got a good 15 years like stage time and like
Wow.
flight hours. Yeah.
So when you
So
mean
maybe
like
15.
when you take a break, because I know like even with everything that's going on now, because I just read in one of the news sources that Governor Cuomo is standing firm about not, opening up comedy clubs. So we're kind of all in like kind of like a forced break. How would you suggest that,
Yeah.
since you've been there, how would you suggest that, people come back from that or just stay fresh within the comedy game and not just saying, well, and get distracted and then just not come back to it?
Well, I guess people are going to make the decision for themselves. But for me, and what I've noticed is that people are making other streams of content
Right.
related to stand up or related to comedy, but not necessarily comedy. And you better be writing and documenting and writing your ass off so that you have something to say when you get back. I mean, even doing this Zoom is part and parcel why, uh, why we're doing this is to keep those muscles engaged, and also just stay, we're in show business, so we have to show that we're doing business.
Yeah.
Like we have to look like we're still working. If this is one of those games where you're out of sight, out of mind, and if they don't see you working, they assume you're not working.
Right.
So, that's what social media is for. That's what the Zoom, you do your show for your reason. Why do you do your show?
Right. Well, I did it so that I could, stay in touch with the comedy community, and also to give people a platform to be able to, talk and get, and be able to, tell me like what their road to comedy was like.
Exactly.
So that I could get to know them, and also to get them also as a comedy show producer, also getting them used to being on Zoom and talking and engaging, because that might be the only way that we have to do comedy shows right now. Because it's going to get cold outside.
This could very well be it for a while.
Yeah.
And we were faced with this in March, and some people were slow to get on board. Some people didn't get on board. It's kind of like the NBA bubble. The NBA, the miniature season they're doing now. Inside of that bubble, some players didn't want to play, and some players were cool with playing, and so they know that this is all with an asterisk, because this is not the normal standard operating procedure. But also there's a passion to play, and to obviously these people want to get paid. Comics want to do their thing and get paid. This is for a lot of us. This is income. So if I'm not, I know you can't just do what you want to do. You hurt yourself. He was trying to, for the people at home, he was trying to climb over the back of the over the back of the couch, and that's a no-no.
Wow, he's really moving.
So, yeah, he's quick too. You gotta get him, and he's so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was important that I keep the muscles engaged, that I make appearances, and also I stay, because the longer you go without performing, you start to not miss it, and you don't want to not give a shit, because then you gotta go through the give a shit phase again, the building up phase.
Right, and it feels like you're starting all over again. Yeah, it feels
and a
like
lot
you're
of people
starting all over again. Yeah.
Exactly. And
so do you write a lot of jokes every day?
No, I don't write jokes every day. That's not my process. I wake up a couple of times a night or a couple of times early mornings, and I engage. For some reason I have some great thoughts late morning, like around 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I jot those thoughts down, and then while I'm doing the normal everyday minutia of life, I reflect on those thoughts and why that's important to me. Like, it's gotta be important.
Down here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the time, and then I already got shit, so it usually is something that goes with an outfit I already have. So now I'm accessorizing.
Right. I mean, I see a lot of comics at open mics. They just write and write and write, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like,
because they don't fucking have lives, So, I mean, this is your process, For me, I have a rich life. I have a busy life. I engage with many people in my life. I talk to people on the phone.
Yes.
And funny shit comes up all the time. So I'm never without material. People tell me, "Oh, I've run out of you." We've written about everything. No. You just stop being creative.
Right. That's how. Yeah, that's how I felt about. Yeah, I felt about that, about screenwriting for a while. And hi, Sandra Daniels is watching. Hi, Sandra.
Hey, Chandra.
I felt
Son was
that
a
way
rock star.
about screenwriting for a while, and I said, well, all the movies have already been written, all the ideas are gone, but and then I think to myself, well, not really,
Yeah,
because there's always a different way of telling a story, just like there's always a different way of telling a joke.
exactly.
So my creativity
Like I'm
doesn't
looking at
stop.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Well,
right. Like
good.
how
I'm
many? Look
glad.
at how many movies
But
they
I'm
made
looking at
from
Star
that.
Wars. They're making new stories every year now.
Yeah,
Solo, the story before the story after the story in between, the story nobody wants to tell you. It's just like you can get some juice out that orange,
yeah. There's a lot
and they
going
are
on in the
squeezing all
world.
the juice out.
Yeah, I feel there's a
Precisely.
lot of human experiences that happen to people that happen to all of us, and that's really to me is the key to good comedy is we say the things that people are thinking but don't really necessarily want to say. It's kind of like witnessing somebody do something stupid and you happen to catch a stranger and you both kind of laugh, because it's like you're both thinking the same thing and you just kind of laugh about it, which I think is,
That's pretty much it.
uh,
That's a comedy show in a nutshell. You're right. Did you see that ridiculous
Nigel.
shit?
Yeah.
Wasn't that ridiculous?
Uh-huh.
Why was that? Here's why that was ridiculous. The problem now is that everybody has an opinion about everything. So when
Yeah.
you go, wasn't that ridiculous? And the other person goes, well, no, I don't think that was ridiculous at all. For some reason, that person's mind shuts down with the possibility that it could be ridiculous. And
Right.
so now we have to deal with that. We're dealing with that in comedy.
Yes.
And I'm just like, we don't have to agree to have a good time.
Exactly. Like we could just kind of like even like with me and you, like when you were saying something about Sagittarians, I was just like, I'm not about to get into a fight with Dave Lester. I don't even know him yet, and I'm not going to sit there and you were right. I mean, you were so right.
Well, I don't be really giving a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? I say shit. Like I'll say shit. I say shit. I mean, I might believe it. I might mean it. But I'm not. I'm perfectly fine with being wrong
Yeah,
because I've been wrong before. I'm fine with being wrong. I
yeah,
don't mind being wrong. Being wrong can be fun.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been wrong about a lot of shit. The shit was hilarious. It was fun. Oh, I love being wrong.
yeah,
This shit is released. Like, oh, I don't have to do that. Oh, cool. But fuck it. I didn't know. Oh,
right.
I fucked up. But my
Yeah,
point
sometimes
is,
it's funny.
I don't need to be disrespectful to your point of view, or I don't need to diminish you. I think a lot of people, they got inferiority, superiority complexes. They feel they need to put something down for them to level up. And I'm like, that's not
Right.
true either.
No.
You could just live your fucking life,
Yeah,
enjoy
just
your
you.
upness,
Yeah.
enjoy your fucking upness, and nobody has to go down for that. You could
Right.
just you could just be up.
Right.
I'll be
Yes.
up.
Exactly. I'm up. I'm
Now,
awake. I'm alive, and that's it.
I talk
Nigel
shit. I do. My thing
Nigel
is
Fullerton.
relationships.
Nigel Fullerton said, "Shout out to the Bedside Jedi."
Yes, sir. What up? What up? What's going on, Nigel? Good to see you, bro. That's me.
I love Nigel. Nigel has a pretty awesome podcast that he has where he talks about Eddie Murphy,
I just
all
saw
the
that.
Eddie Murphy movies and stuff
I
like
just saw
that,
that.
which is really cool.
That
Nigel,
shit is dope.
talks a lot
See,
about it. Yeah,
we talking about not another podcast, and yet there's a niche that nobody thought of. That's exactly
exactly. And he's
what we're talking about.
he's doing that. I actually just enrolled in like a podcast course today. It was like one of those things to teach you how to like market your podcast and
Oh yeah.
how to do stuff. And I said, you know what? Because sometimes we think that it's just about like turning on a camera and just talking, but it's actually a little bit more than that. So there's actually ways to make money off a podcast. There's ways to do it to help your business. There's a lot of different things, And speaking of like marketing yourself, like how do you market yourself as a comic to keep the light on you? How do you build your audience?
And that's a great question. And when people say that, they're trying to buy time. Uh,
You're trying to buy
trying to buy time. Uh,
what?
being on Facebook is I have a following that I engage, and also, I've been doing it a little while, and I've been doing it in a very small area per capita, and I
Yeah,
have a lot of fans in a small area,
right.
but I haven't been out nationally. A lot of comics, my time in the game, been out all over the world, all over, not me. I haven't for whatever reason. And what I do, I had a plan before COVID. I was talking to some marketing people and a manager and a person that works at an agency, and we were having conversations about what's next for me. And this COVID thing knocked everything on its ass. So we're all just scrambling around. First, I didn't do anything. I did Zooms. I like Zooms the way I like sex with condoms. I have 6 kids, so there's your answer. So
Right.
I don't get the release that I look for from doing stand up, doing Zoom. I don't get enough of that release. And if you think about it, it's a little bit more involved because you gotta entertain somebody in their apartment with whatever they got going on in their apartment. It's hard to
Right.
transport somebody when they're not transported.
Right.
So I did those. I stayed in those, and I did well. I did relatively well on those. I just didn't feel great, but I was I worked at it, and I reached out to people, and then I just between like I would say April and like June, I kind of just focused on home. I
Right.
focused on raising this guy. I focused on straightening, fixing up the house. We had just moved in here last November. So I focused on day-to-day shit, and I was getting tons of material, and I was talking with people on the phone, and I was considering what my next moves were. Then the summer came in, and an outdoor show revolution happened,
Yeah.
and I got late. I got down late on that. People were booking people they wanted to book, so I started just booking shows for myself. I started putting shows together and checking in with my audience, and that's really where we are now. I'm reaching out to people for spots and getting a couple of responses, but I'm not working as much as I'd like to be.
That show in Brooklyn was great. I mean, I had never been to anything really like that. Um, sorry, I
Me
worked
neither.
out like pretty hard today. My body's killing me. I had never been to anything like that, but it was definitely very, I mean, despite the rain, I mean, I didn't even care about that. We were all just chilling and having a great time. It was a great crowd,
Yo,
you
that was
know?
on some Woodstock shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is pretty cool, but, we only have like maybe another couple months of that.
If not a couple of months, hell, we might have. And you see how cold it is in September? We
It is
might have
cold.
6 weeks
It has not been this cold in September
in a long time.
in a long time because I remember still like sweating to death like during September and now all of a sudden it feels like it's October going into November and that's why I'm thinking
I agree.
it's
I
gonna be
agree. I'm
tough.
excited. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm excited about the weather changing. I like it. It's not
Yeah,
like we got a real summer, so fuck that weather. If all I'm getting is bugs and fucking humidity, I'm good.
I like the winter.
Bring them. You don't
I
like
love
winter?
it. I don't like the snow, but I mean, I definitely like, dressing up and being warm and, putting on my sweaters and stuff like that and just kind of just
Me too. I like
I
the
also
fall.
love
Fall's my
like the
favorite.
fall activities and everything, haunted houses, which are not going to be this year, you
Which
know.
you can get some stuff. You can get some outdoor action going with the fall. Fall is probably the season, maybe not top season, but you can get some fun. You can get some hiking done. You can get some apple picking done. You can get those things done
Yeah, I'm definitely
uh,
going to do all
dur-
of that
in the
because,
COVID landscape.
yeah. I mean, I wanted to, like, I had a dream and I wanted to, like, erect this comedy haunted house thing. But I'm like, how is that going to work? But I don't know. That probably wouldn't work.
Really?
Well, it might work.
Yeah. I mean, comedy can be scary. That's for sure.
Speaking of comedy being scary, have you ever seen anybody like you've been a comic for 15 years? Have you ever seen anybody like bomb really bad on stage?
I bomb really bad on stage. I think I've seen tons of people. I bombed on TV. That's the worst.
You did tell me about that. I think you told me before, but let's tell everybody that's watching.
Well,
Let's relive
basically,
that moment.
yeah, for your show, you got it. Only cost me thousands in therapy and my ex-wife. Don't worry about it.
Did come on, really?
I don't lie. But yeah, I'm not making it up. But no, I got on this is a story, this is a cautionary tale of really getting something too fast before you're ready.
Yeah.
And then not being prepared. Basically, I got an opportunity. I went and auditioned for a TV show that I wasn't ready for. I did great in the audition, and they put me out there to fly me out to record the show. And I didn't prepare the weeks leading up to the show. I didn't prepare very well because I wasn't ready. I didn't have a set yet. And I fucking bombed trying to like riff. I tried to riff. Normally I would riff and then get into my shit or riff and get into some shit, and it just didn't happen that way because, as you know, TV you need to be funny right away out the gate. Your joke has to start here and has to end there. And I was used to doing shows where the time would fluctuate. So let's just say I wasn't ready, and I had a horrible set. And it's one thing to bomb in the club. You can go home and wash that out. You go up the next night, you good. You bomb on TV, they record that shit, they put that shit out. Now the whole country know you ate shit, and then you gotta relive it again when they redistribute it. So it was tough. It was tough.
I think.
And when black people bomb, when we bomb, we give each other shit. So it was tough.
That's tough. Unfortunate. It really is.
That bomb taught me two things. It taught me talent is not everything, and you got to work hard. You got to cultivate your shit.
Yeah.
And B, always be ready. The worst thing you could do is get something before you're ready.
Right.
You can only fake it till you make it, but so much. So if you out there and you ain't got a set yet, or you don't got a plan when you approach the stage, I'm here to tell you, you could get got. And when you bomb, people will remember that bomb. You can kill 8 times, 10 times, 800 times. But if they see you bomb one bad time, that's what they remember. They remember the bad news.
Yeah, it's true.
Be prepared.
But
I've grown since then. I really came into my own after that experience. I really became a hard-hitting comic after that.
Yeah. I mean, it's we have that. But that's not the only opportunity that you're ever going to have. You're definitely going to get more opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. But I haven't really gotten TV on that level since then. But I feel like, this is my time. My time is near. I recorded my special last year. Just by saying I would do it. I was really trying to record an album, and some producers, independent producer, approached me about shooting it for me, and we knocked it out.
Good. See?
Whew.
That's excellent. See?
Yeah, it was a great little comeback story. Now we're trying to sell it. Now we're trying to sell the special.
Well, I don't think you're going to have a problem there. I definitely think that there's different platforms now that you can put it on. It's not just where it was HBO or Showtime or BET or wherever it was, or MTV, wherever they had. Now you have different ones where you can actually talk to people and get it in there.
And not to mention, because we've been pretty stagnant the last few months, there hasn't been much new content being made with organic audiences. Right. Plus, my material holds up. I'm doing materials about relationship, about my kids, about racism. So, that material will age well, and we'll be able to move it, hopefully.
What type of material do you think doesn't age well?
I mean, topical shit, of course.
Yeah.
Certain topical things, trends, any celebrity shit. I'm like, you're a whole human being. You don't even know these motherfuckers. Why are you committing? I mean, if you write for late night, I understand they pay you to do that shit. If you're writing for yourself, if you're a working comic and you're doing an hour or you're doing 45 minutes, you don't need to have 15 minutes of. It depends on the personality of the comic, because some people get bored with the same shit. So I think they write topical stuff as like the part of their set, the 15 minutes of their set where they get to play around and see new people while still being married. So I understand that. But for me, it's just not worth it. There's so much other stuff to talk about. You know, for me,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
I just
like,
don't care about, you know.
yeah, when like people pick up on like a certain thing, like we all knew that a lot of the comedy jokes were going to be about COVID. But I feel like, and being like in quarantine, like I even have some jokes about being single in quarantine, you know. But I mean, it's just, it was just my thoughts of like, what it was really like to be here by myself, locked in my house for months on end with no one to talk to. And
And you
just,
had time to reflect on that shit.
yeah, I never felt as single as I did when I came home March 13th. And I was like, damn, like I really wish I had a man in the house right now. Oh, he's sleeping.
Yeah, he falls asleep to my voice often.
He does.
Yeah,
Do you read him stories?
yeah. I got some books. I mean, he stayed with some books on the couch.
Yeah.
He's really taken over our living room. But yeah, we read to him, and we sing to him, and we talk to him.
Yes, he likes that. Oh,
Yeah, he has a good life.
I'm sure he does. He's 10 months old. He gets to sleep and eat, and he gets bathed, and all this stuff, and loved, and
Yeah,
it's the most
he
precious
wouldn't even be
time.
with me right now. He wouldn't even be with me right now. His mom would be like completely engulfed,
Yeah,
but she's resting.
yeah.
We
She
got to take
needs
him to
it. 10 months.
yeah.
10 months old. Wow. So, do you have a favorite comedy club that you like to perform in?
I do. I liked. I mean, I don't know what's going on now, but I loved New York Comedy Club. That's where I started. Um, that's my old gym. I love Levity Live, and I love West Side Comedy Club. Those are some of my favorites. Obviously, Caroline's is fucking rock star.
I would love to perform
Caroline's
there.
makes you feel. Yeah, Caroline's makes you feel like you made it.
Yeah.
You could be doing a guest spot and do well. You'd be like, I fucking made it. And then they'd be like, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, get off the stage.
Yeah, yeah, beat it. Beat it,
Yeah.
slut.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those some rock star places.
Yeah. So, if there was a movie made about your life, who would play you?
Oh, that's a good question. Hmm, that's a bold ass. I don't know. You know what? Roman Malcolmy. How do you say his name? It's a cat that played in. It's a cat that played the bald head kid that played in the 40-year-old virgin, the black dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Played me. He played me well. I think he
That would be
played me.
awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. I think he'd play me well.
Do you remember your first time going on stage? Would you rather do that or would you rather ask a girl out?
Either one. I like. I mean, I think I love comedy more than women. Definitely, if you're saying ask a girl out, as in when I was young and
When you were
uncomfortable,
young, yeah.
definitely comedy. I would definitely go up and rock in front of 50 people and bomb happily than ask a girl out one on one and bomb. Because that walk back from the girl bomb is way worse than walking off stage. I assure you. But now I'm really good at both of them, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would have no idea. Usually, like when a girl says no, it's kind of like, it could be for many different reasons as to why a girl says no. And guys take it so personal.
It was important for me to understand why they said no, but I learned that sometimes, most of the time, it had nothing to do with me. I just wasn't their cup of tea.
It's either that or like, listen, I got like a huge pimple on my ass and I don't want to like, I mean, I've never had that, but
Like you said, I don't. You don't take it personal. You learn that it's not personal. With
yeah.
comedy, it's usually if you bombing on stage, it's probably you, but maybe not necessarily just you. But it's the way you're dealing with whatever's going on.
Right. Like some people say, oh, this is a tough crowd or something like that. And sometimes they are, sometimes people are just, not in the mood to lay. Especially I find like a lot of Friday night shows, I find the audience to be a little quiet in the beginning. And then like as the drinks start flowing a little bit more, they definitely loosen up and start laughing and having a good time.
I agree. If you look at it from the audience perspective, they have to transition from whatever they were just doing, probably
Right.
something they didn't want to be doing, to something they now don't know how they feel about.
Right.
So they're ambivalent feelings. So it's that first time sex thing. It's like I want to be doing it, but I just don't know what to expect with this person. And so you
Right.
have to it's the host's job to guide them through that process, introduce them to the fact that, hey, we're about to have fun. And you have to sell it to them. Hey,
Yeah.
we're going to have some fun. Do you want to have fun? Yeah, I think I want to have fun. Yeah. Like then,
Yeah, like, all right, let's do it,
as opposed to, oh, we're going to bring 5 guys up here. They're going to say things to you. And, we hope something connects. That's no way to have sex.
I've definitely seen, you're absolutely right, John Battle. Do you know John Battle?
Oh, he sounds familiar, very familiar. In fact, I went to school to John Battle. I can't see anybody on Facebook. Is there a way I can do that?
Because I'm looking at it. John Battle says, I love tough crowds, hate getting easy laughs, build strength. I agree.
I mean, I just like an audience that's honest and who's not being an audience not being tricked. I
Yeah.
think when audiences are being tricked, it definitely waters down the game. And I'm not here for it. I'm here to have a conversation with y'all, a
Yeah.
guided conversation.
What do you think about combining, like, because when I do a lot of shows, I do like a lot of theme shows. Like sometimes I'll have like different performers in between the sets. This way it's not just like a parade of comics going up after the next. What do you
Uh,
think about those types of shows?
there's enough shows out there, enough people out there for all shows to do well. I'm a purist, but at the same time, I used to produce a burlesque and comedy show.
Love it.
So people wanted to laugh, they wanted to be, horny a little bit.
Yeah.
And we fucking killed it. We killed it for 4 years straight, once a month. We would pack them in too. None of those shows were ever light.
Yeah.
Because
It
people like
definitely
to
not.
yeah, and people want to feel good. We bring in a sex therapist. We play sex games on stage. It was a fucking hoot.
Yeah.
So to that point, there's a show out there. There's an idea out there. Do it.
Yeah.
There's an audience for it, and you execute it well and with care. And if you captivate the audience and you capture the imaginations of the people will decide if your show was good or not. Other
Yeah.
companies will make that decision for you.
Definitely not. I mean, I had a pie eating contest because I do like the fat version with like a bunch of like different, fat comics and stuff. So I had a pie eating contest at the end of it, and people loved it. But it wasn't pie; it was like chocolate breasts with like whipped cream on it. So whoever could eat the whipped cream off the tits fastest won like the $20 prize. And everybody just loved it. And it had been a little tough where I was doing the shows because it was at a bar at Coaster's Tavern, and a lot of the people that went there that were regulars, we kind of like interrupted their Tuesday nights if they were there, or their Saturday nights if we were doing a show, and they just kind of wanted to come down there and have a drink, and we're all in there with all these people doing shows. But after we had that pie eating contest, they were like, "Oh, you guys are so cool." We were like, "Yeah," because they actually got to interact with us
Yeah, that's
and be a
important.
part of the show.
Yeah, for me, if I'm gonna do a show, it has to be a room that is what I call sterile.
Yeah.
And what that means is that we are the center of attention
Mhm.
on stage, and there's nothing we're competing with in that room.
Right.
Now, if you want to do a bunch of shows, I've done a bunch of great shows, a bunch of okay shows, a bunch of shows where we're competing. We're with the TV on and the bartender and the ice machine and the local bar regulars. And I'm like, why don't we find a way where we're not impeding on anybody's regular shit? Give us a night that's quiet. We'll
Yeah.
bring our, but it, producer to really set the tone and set the environment that makes comedy happen.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean, I've always enjoyed doing shows wherever. I mean, now we're kind of stuck doing shows in a parking lot around some random field somewhere in the middle of nowhere, you know.
You know what's funny about these shows? We've been doing these rogue shows. Is that you're gonna really see who has chops and
Yeah.
who can perform.
Yeah.
Yes, not just write stand up, write joke. Because you know, I'm not shitting on joke. I never shit on joke writers. Joke writers make the TV world go around, make the entertainment game go around. But you gotta be able to perform with 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 and be compelling.
Yeah.
And now more than ever, you really got to be able to be like, why should I listen to you while an airplane's going by, or while a fire truck, you know, whatever.
Or the cops or something. Somebody going crazy, a dog running around.
Or you got to be quick enough to address it.
Right.
You know, bet they're going to my house. I left the oven on, whatever. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it really tests you.
Yeah, and I feel like people should definitely at least, comics should at least try something different. Because a lot of comics had, firmly like planted their feet when I was asking, like, you guys want to do Zoom shows or whatever. And they were like, no, no, I'm just going to wait for the comedy clubs to be open. And I'm like, that's not going to happen for a while. And then even the comedy clubs that do open, it's not going to be to most of our benefit, at least.
They're gonna
You know?
be they're gonna be hitting the top hitters, the top names, the people that can draw people to those clubs. They're not gonna be knocking on Kristen Tinsley and Dave Lester's door right now.
No, not right now.
And that's okay.
That's fine, because there's other places to do it.
Even the producers, even motherfuckers that are doing it in fucking sewers are calling Mark Norman, come do my sewer show. Like, they want top names, you know. It's like, motherfucker, you would have never asked me to do your sewer show. So they got to get those top names, or they're going to try to get the top names to draw people. But right now, everybody's really pretty much even. Only a few of us have been working regularly.
Yep.
So book yourself a well-rounded show and produce a well-produced show. That's it.
I'm working on it. I'm going to let you know when I get myself a spot. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm saying in general. But yeah, me too.
But you got to come from New Jersey.
That's okay.
I'll pick you up from the train station.
That'd be beautiful. But yeah.
Actually, you know what? There's another comic that lives in New Jersey. I could throw him on that show, and you guys can come in together.
Hey, listen, whatever you can do, be great. But
I'm gonna do it. I mean, there's a park over here by my house that I would absolutely love, but because it has like a million barbecues, it has like a concrete slab, it's got an awning, it's got electricity out there. Like, we could really, it's a huge field. There'd be plenty of room for social distancing. It would just be beautiful. So,
it's just a matter of when you do the shows outdoors, other factors come into play now. More production concerns, lighting, sound, power, ordinance. You got to deal with the county or the town.
I think you get a permit. I think you would have to get I think I have to get a permit for that park. But it's meant for parties. Like, it's meant for barbecues. Like, they have a lot of barbecues there. Like, the outdoor barbecues. Right. There's like 2 baseball fields. Like, there's a huge parking lot. There's really plenty. The only problem is there is a bathroom, but it's locked. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Because how are you going to go to the bathroom? And I'm thinking to myself, all right, just put a sheet up with like a bunch of buckets or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I would find out how much a porta potty costs.
Yeah, that's definitely an option too. Because people do go over there. They do play. The kids over there, they play sports and stuff like that. So I don't know if the bathrooms are closed. At least they were in the beginning, but I don't know. COVID locks bathrooms.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. I mean, airborne is airborne, but I think comedy is resilient. Stand-up comedy is very resilient. When you think about the nature of the people that do it, we tend to be pretty tough. And I think it'll be fine. I see all these New York is dead rhetoric, and I'm just like, that depends on who you are. All you saying, you complaining about New York being dead is like you complaining about your ex. It sounds like you was on some fuck shit too, and it didn't work out. When you complain about somebody, you really complain about yourself. You complain about New York being dead, you complain about your own lack of depth and fucking toughness. So I don't.
Yeah, and I feel like some people like low key want to see it fail because they didn't do anything with
Right.
what they were supposed to be doing.
Nobody's saying that shit. Nobody's saying New York is dead. Who feel good about their careers,
Right.
right? These are people who already got what they call sour grapes, and they're like, fuck it, let the whole thing burn.
Yeah,
But it's not gonna burn.
and that's sad. It's really sad.
Look, listen, people got to grow up and take responsibility for their lives and push their shit forward.
Yeah,
No one's coming to knock on this door and give me the magic beans. I got to go out and fucking make them.
I agree 100%, and I know that you're going to do really well.
Yeah, I think so too. I like my chances. I'm still
Yeah.
working out how. I'm not gonna lie to you. This COVID shit got me guessing. I don't know how in the first place, but I'm confident and I'm gonna shoot my shots and I'm good at making adjustments. So we'll see. Same with you.
Yeah.
I just met you. I literally just met you like this last couple of weeks. So I don't know your journey, but I wish you well in it. Stay
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, I got my hands in many different things. I'm always doing something, always, all the time. There's always something going on, and sometimes I get myself so busy and crazy and stuff like that, But I'm working on, trying to make this show, you know, a little bit better, as far as like, how it looks and everything like that. But right now, I'm happy that I've stuck with it. I've had a lot of people, come on the show. A lot of really good people come on my show, and got to talk to some cool people. So, that's what's important to me. You know, you froze up on me. There you are. You're back again.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just happy to just be able to do something.
Well, I'm glad for you. I got to say, this is one of the easier interviews. Usually people ask me very tough questions. Um,
Like
and
what?
yeah, they ask you about challenges. They ask you about, like who they asked me before? They asked me, one guy, the last show I did my buddy Q Brooks' show. He asked me, did I have a no book list? Like a group of comics I just won't book. And I thought that was very, I thought that was very ballsy for him to ask. And I was like, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not something that
I
I
mean,
would
I didn't say no
ask.
names, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Yeah, it depends on.
that's a very I mean, I think we all have that little list. When you're a producer, you do kind of, have that list of people that where it's just like, I'll never put that person on a show. But that would not be something that I would ask people. Like my technique of asking people questions, like you secretly answered all of my questions without even knowing it. You just answered them, and so I didn't even have to ask you. But it's more about the personal experience. That's why it's called In Bed with Comics, because it's more of like an intimate conversation about about you. I mean, we all have the comedy game and everything like that, and how you keep with it and this and that. But you know to just sit back and listen and let people talk, you'll find that they'll reveal what you
Yeah,
want anyway.
yeah.
So
You create it. That's the same process I think happens with comedy shows. I think when
yeah,
you create a nice environment. Hold on a second. I have to reset the baby. Make sure he's comfy and can breathe and all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I think when you create a nice environment, beautiful things are gonna happen. And like you said, it's not gonna be a pull. It's just
yeah,
gonna be flow. It's gonna flow.
yeah. It just flows. And I mean, I've never had a dull moment on the show. I've had a lot of, at first I used to just ask the same questions, but then, I kind of took a step back because I went to school for journalism and, stuff like that. And, just doing like, on air hosting. I have my own TV show actually that's not about comedy, it's about nutrition. So I'm constantly, talking and engaging with different types of people. But with comedy, I feel like there's a lot of comics that get interviewed on shows, and I watch a lot of those shows, and I see them being asked, some very personal questions. And it's kind of like, well, they're not here to talk about their sex life. They're here to talk about comedy. They're not here to talk about, the crazy stuff, or hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? Those types of questions,
Yeah,
you don't do that.
I got I got I got blindsided by a question from a feminist, and I'm only saying she's a feminist because she identified herself as such. She
Right.
blindsided me and was like, "Would you consider yourself a feminist?" And I was like, "No, I don't have ovaries, and I don't have the same experience that a feminist would have
Mm.
in her fight against her concerns. I
Why would
don't
you
have
ask a man that?
I don't have because that's the thing. People want to know things. I'm not a feminist. I'm a humanist. You know, I care about women and what they want and what they trying to get, and I support them in that. Uh, I guess there are levels to that even. But no, I'm not a feminist. I'm a man. How could I be a feminist? A man can't be a feminist, in my opinion. But
Definitely not.
it was a very from around the corner question. Uh, and then she asked me about, and I told her, nah, let's just say I gave her more than she asked for.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, I mean, I like to keep the questions easy. I like to keep the mood light here. You
Well,
know,
I appreciate it.
yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of, yeah, I mean, you just don't know, like, the types of questions that people, and sometimes I feel like some of those questions are kind of baited to try to get a response out of you.
You trying
And
to,
it's just that's not right. That's just not my angle. So I
well,
don't go there.
we live in a big world. There are different kinds of folks, and they do shit for different reasons. So
I know. Oh, he's awake now.
yeah,
Did we wake you up, darling?
it's okay. I gotta give him his dinner anyway. I'm a little late.
All right, yes. Give him his dinner. I want to thank you so much for being on this show.
He said, thanks. We enjoyed ourselves, right?
Yes, you did.
He was very relaxed. He said to tell you that you create a nice environment.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you. I will definitely be in touch with you for some shows. Let's keep the good fight going. Comedian Laughs Count. Your T-shirt is on your way. She better finish these T-shirts.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I'm
supporting that movement.
gonna be rocking that. Looking forward to my T-shirt.
Yeah, definitely. It's
And
going to be cool. But we're going to keep protesting. I think we're gearing up for another one. We're going to keep protesting. I have some ideas how the comics can kind of get together and do something online.
well,
Which I
I'm
would
more
love that.
the protest. I probably won't be on foot shit, but I'll send you some money or something. But I'm not marching nowhere. I already
You
tell
don't
people
need to
that
march nowhere. Just log on and tell a couple of jokes. I want to
I'll do
try to
that.
create like
I'll
a
do that.
comedy chain or something like that, where like people could just kind of get on and tell their jokes and just kind of share their social media, like whatever they want to do, and just protest it. Like we're still here, we're out here, we're performing, and this is what we want to do. So
Wow.
I'm going to be working on that, putting that together because it's necessary. So
Down for that.
definitely. See, I told you.
Cool.
You don't have to leave your house.
That.
Oh, you froze again. I'm gonna start taking pictures of everybody's faces when they
Say
get
what
frozen.
now? Tesla.
You're not unfrozen, but
Can't
I can hear you. I can hear you.
hear
There you are. Wow, it's like a glitch in the
you.
matrix.
I missed that whole thing. I didn't hear anything you said.
No, I said it's definitely necessary to have people band together and just for fun. Why not? Just you don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know who you're gonna see. You don't know who's gonna be watching. I'm definitely gonna be teaming up and putting it all together and reaching out to a bunch of comics that I don't know and all that stuff and just
But
get
that's
it
terrific.
going.
I'm looking forward to it. More unity. We need more unity in the game.
Yeah.
It's just too much separation, too much of this. I'm not on kumbaya shit, but I do believe that people need to. There's a special fraternity that exists among comics,
Yes.
and it should be diverse, and it should be tolerant, and it should be accepting, not even just tolerant, and it should be, inclusive.
Yeah. I agree,
Because
100%.
I'm tired of seeing fucking shows with three white guys named Mike.
Well, I'm all about the flavor on my show. You check some of my flyers and you'd be like, all right, there's a brother there, there's a sister there, there's a brother there, and the white people. It doesn't matter to me. If I know you and you're cool and, you want a spot, put the opportunity out there, you're getting up there. But And I do my own women's shows, and I do my own men's shows, and I just do everything that I can to just include everybody. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate the work. Yeah, I got a buddy that he booked like 3 shows in a row. He didn't put no women on the show. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask him. He's my friend, like another man, my age.
yeah,
I was like, you don't book women? You couldn't? Did all the women die? Why didn't you book any women? And he was like, I didn't see nobody I wanted was available. And I
that's an
was,
issue with women. Sometimes, you know, even when I do book women, you know, it is, you know, low key. It's, you know, sometimes you get, oh, I'm not ready yet, or oh, I have this obligation, or they pull out last minute, or they don't respond, and
I mean,
you
I've
know,
experienced,
you know,
I've
it's like
experienced
that.
that, but I don't think that's a reason to stop trying. I'm
Right?
sure,
Definitely not. No, I don't. I just
I'm
go
sure
on to the next girl.
he could have found a solid feature on opener for each of
Yeah,
those shows. That's a matter of choice.
yeah, it is. And you know, I feel like um, sometimes I think you know certain male comedy producers they look at women comics and you know they book them because they want to hopefully sleep with them, or they book them because you know, or they're afraid to book them because then they might think something, and it's like we just want some stage time, bro. Like that's it. Some
Right,
stage time, some laughs, a drink, and we're out the door. Like we don't, you know, it's just it's same as you know. So
right. Yeah. Ask around about me. I have an impeccable record. My record speaks for itself. Because, and it's a very simple reason for that. And I know we're running a little late. The reason is my audience is 80% women.
yeah, there was a lot of women at your show. Yeah, and you
They
had
come
a
out.
lot of women on your show.
They come out to see me, and they come out to see the people I present. And I at
Yeah,
least try at least 2 women on each show.
yeah,
If I
and
have a
thank you
show,
for that.
3 or 4 people, 4 or 5 people. There's got to be at least 2 different kinds of women on the show to give because every woman ain't the same. So if I put one woman on the show, she might not scratch the itch of the other of the audience members in the audience. But
Right.
between 2 women, usually of color, I'm gonna cover the spread.
Yeah, absolutely. We gotta keep everybody.
And
So
engage. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
good fight. I appreciate you, QT.
You're welcome, Dave Lester. Thank you so much for being on In Bed with Comics. Go feed your adorable son. I'll be in touch with you soon.
Bet,
Good
Crystal.
night.
I can't wait for the T-shirt. As soon as I wear a T-shirt, I'm gonna post it.
All right, cool. Definitely. I'm gonna get it from her and I'm gonna send it out to you. Probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Bet. Have a great weekend.
You too. I'll talk to you later.
It's already the beginning of the week. Oh, it's
Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's almost over.
every day's a weekend with COVID. I'm all fucked up.
I know. I know. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was Mr. Dave Lester, everybody. Thank you, everyone who tuned in tonight to watch In Bed with Comics. Thank you, John Battle. I appreciate it. So, if you haven't read in the paper, we're still fighting the good fight. Governor Cuomo is saying that comedy clubs and entertainment venues will not be opening anytime soon because it's just not essential. And he doesn't want to disrespect any comedians by saying that we're not essential. But come on, man! Like if you can pack out schools and all this other stuff, and you're making these decisions where people are together in masses, there's really no reason as to why a comedy club can't be open just to see how it's going to work. Because how are we going to know if anything's going to work if we don't try? You know, is there going to be some sort of magic happening that's going to take place, and then all of a sudden we're just going to know that it's okay to go into a comedy club? When is this going to end? So I will keep everyone posted. There's going to be a new protest hopefully soon. And then I will be talking more about the show that I'm going to be putting together with hopefully with comedians all over the world to kind of raise our voices and tell our jokes and do our thing. So stay tuned for that. I might see you on Thursday. I don't know. I didn't book a guest yet, but we'll see. I have something to do Thursday night, but I will definitely be back next week. Please go on my YouTube channel, In Bed with Comics, and like, share, and subscribe. I will be putting up a ton of episodes up there of all the guests that I've had and counting it up. And as soon as I hit 20, I'm going to be celebrating. I think I actually have 20 already. So we're going to be doing a little bit of celebration going on there. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Chris Nicole Tins Comedy. And thank you so much for watching Beverly Comics. And I will see you, if not Thursday, I will definitely see you next Tuesday. Bye.